Sacramento, California natives are some of the luckiest people around, with the abundance of sunshine they receive every year. While it can get chillier this time of year, averages of 39-degree lows and 59-degree high temps have been the norm lately. Because of the average weather patterns, every HVAC company around right now is praying for some nastier, colder weather. Coming up on this episode of The Life of an HVAC Technician, Fox Family Heating and Air Conditioning is steady with business, even though the winter weather isn't quite putting the chill on anyone around here. Journeyman technician Keith troubleshoots a leaky ceiling on a unit he's worked on before.
In December, I had a drywall guy come out.
We tore this portion out and it was really wet.
Keith tells us about a system replacement quote he went out on for a unit that was only 7 years old.
The model and serial number, I realized the system was from 2012 paint. And when I got up there, I knew it wasn't 20 plus years old.
And journeyman technician Colin gets a 27-year-old package unit up and running again.
You're like, oh, please fire up.
Yeah.
It's definitely the pressure switch.
Oh, yeah, you got another totally new problem.
It's now. Hey guys, how you doing? We're starting another day here at Sacramento, California, and today we're just going to be doing a little bit of training early in the morning on some financing for equipment, and probably head out for some calls. Looking forward to this episode. I hope you guys are enjoying it, because this is the way that I'm going to take my channel. I wanted to start doing some longer videos, kind of put together sort of as a reality show to show you guys what it's like being an HVAC technician out on the road. Hopefully I can get some personal video of my technicians and their lifestyle, you know, what they do off duty as well as when they're at work. So I got some really good guys, and I'm very fortunate to have them, some really nice personalities. I'm not out in the field as much, so I wanted to be able to show my guys off to you and, like I said, show you what it's like being out in the field, taking care of people. I also wanted to show our customers what it's like, what we're like, you know, kind of give you guys an introduction to us and show what kind of company we are, what kind of technicians are going to be arriving at your house. And I thought this would be a great way to do it, so hope you enjoy the video. Good morning. Busy desk. Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Good, man.
She has property management, but she lives in LA, but she doesn't want to call a property management company, and she's getting a divorce, and she doesn't want to call the tenant.
Yeah.
So I talked with her yesterday, and there's so many players involved, I had to like write up a...
Oh my goodness. She's like really making us go out of our way for the work.
She wants to use it. She goes, I want a 4-ton 16 SEER system, and
okay.
just tell me the price.
Great. Are we sending somebody out today, or?
I'm trying to get a hold of the tenant.
Okay, cool. Okay, guys, so we're gonna head on over to one of Keith's calls. We were out here a few months ago, and a couple months ago, I guess, and he was complaining about water coming down through the ceiling. And we went up there, we checked out the HVAC system. Plumber said, it's probably the HVAC system. It's not any plumbing up there. So Keith goes out there and assures them that, you know, it's a heat pump system, and the guy says he's got water coming down through the ceiling. Well, the only problem with that is that, you know, if it was the air conditioning system, you know, then the evaporator coil would be up in the attic, the cold coil would be up in the attic, and it would be condensing water down into a drain pan or out through the drain pipe. But since we're in heating season, the hot coil is in the attic. So where the air handler is. So in this situation, there's no water condensing up in the attic. So you know what this seems to kind of coincide with is the rain. Like all of December, we didn't have any rain at all. We had a little bit in November, and then we just had a rainstorm a couple days ago. So this kind of coincides with rain and possibly a leaky roof. So I think that's probably where this call is going to head. And so I just want to bring you guys along because we get calls like this a lot. So I'm gonna head in here with Keith and see what he's got going on.
Guys came out here and there was water spouts, but we could not find any leakage in November. In December, I had a drywall guy come out. We tore this portion out and it was really wet. So we let it dry, and he used the blow heater, and he repatched it. He said, God, water shouldn't be getting through here.
Absolutely not, yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what? See that hole right there?
Right.
That was the other day. That was about 3 days
And you just
ago.
had that done.
And we just had this done in December, and then you can see the water right there.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, we'll go up and take a look. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to get another set of eyes on it. That's why I brought myself
really
along.
appreciate this, you guys.
So-
Like really nice jackets, so if you get anything on them.
That is pretty strange, though.
Yeah.
So
When I was out here last time, it was underneath, because I had searched high and low, you know, trying to find where that spot is. I think it's underneath down here
yeah,
to the left.
I did too.
So,
It's like literally right here.
yeah.
And we have some water stains on the deck here.
These are dry. These are...
Yeah, right. Those are dry.
Yeah.
And when did this water come through? Just recently?
Yeah, he said 3 days ago. And these water stains look like they're from this.
Right. Yeah.
All that.
But this water,
It only
if that
happens
did
in
come
AC.
down, it would go down to this pan though, straight down.
Absolutely. But only in AC mode.
Only in AC mode,
And he's
right?
saying it's doing it now, you know. So that's what I was explaining to him last time, and this time is
And in the heating mode, this is the hot coil.
exactly. There's no condensation that comes off of it. So my thing is it definitely coinciding with the rain, because if it's 3 days ago.
So this water damage happened in the last couple days, and this is obviously dry right here. So let's look around the unit and see if we see anything else. So it's obviously like in this area right here.
And then you got
Oh,
you got a water
and
stain there.
is that wet right there?
Absolutely. We got some wet insulation there.
So
Which tells us it's nowhere near the unit.
it's nowhere near the unit, and we got wires. We got wires coming up right there. So is there some sort of penetration there?
It looks like, yeah, it looks like there's a vent here on top of the roof. So my guess is it's got to be somewhere within.
Yep.
There's
a vent right there.
I don't know how long ago these wires were put in, but it looks like they went underneath the flashing right there.
That's gotta be it. All right, so let's take some pictures of that and show him, and then we'll take pictures of that,
Absolutely.
showing that that's directly correlated with that roof penetration, and nothing with the roof jet, and nothing with the HVAC unit. We'll get some pictures of that and attach it to our invoice.
Absolutely.
And that
That makes me feel better.
Yeah. Good.
Alright,
Okay.
sir. Yeah. So there's some things we would like to share with you. Hey, Katie, you guys. Hey. Really?
That's all right.
Love the bar.
What it actually looks like is it looks like you have a roof leak right above this spot. I know last time I couldn't find any wet spot, and it was.
We got pictures of it.
It was November, and it hadn't been raining for a while. We went up there, double checked the same spots. There's a thing of insulation up there that's soaked with water. You can feel it. It's damp. It's wet, and it's right in this area, and it's right. I got pictures for you. And it's right below what looks like to be like a roof vent, like a roof jack, where somebody had put some wires. I don't know if it was recently.
Need my glasses out to look prettier.
So this is the water here. So the insulation around it is dry. That's the wet spot. I verified it, grabbed it, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's soaking wet. It's right under this.
Yeah, so when we look at that, it's that, no, it's that right there where the antenna is. That's where the wires come in. I don't know if I can, yeah, I can zoom in on that. And you see those wires coming in.
Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Hey, Keith, you can see those wires coming in. Yeah, you can see those wires, look. See how they're going in?
Oh, going right into that, yeah.
Yep.
Yep, because that's exactly where it is at right there.
Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah, so we confirmed that. I had a feeling that it was rain. It was caused by rain, and so we found the roof penetration, that it's very likely coming through. Like Keith said, the leak can start higher up on the truss and work its way down and finally find a spot to drip off of. But I have a really strong suspicion that it's coming from right where those cable wires are coming in. And you know why it hasn't done that, you know, in the years past, I'm not sure, but it's clearly not coming from the HVAC system. So we assured him of that. We showed him pictures of the water and the insulation, the wet insulation part. So chalk up another one for Fox Family Heating and Air finding that spot there. So, and that was no charge to the customer either, because he's a club member. So, you know, a diagnostic fee like that, it gets waived when you're a club member. So when you let us come out and do the maintenance for you twice a year, you get 15% off parts and labor and no dispatch fee ever. So that's kind of a bonus for that customer, because, you know, it gets us to come out. It saves them money basically. So, and we want those calls. You know, we want those calls because we want to develop trust, a relationship with these folks, and that's the way we do it right there, one customer at a time. So we're gonna head over to have some lunch right now, and Keith has a story right now about a package unit he just went out to give an estimate on. So I'm kind of curious to hear how that goes.
I get this call to go out for a system estimate, and I go out there, and the first thing I do is I ask him, okay, you know, I'm out here for a system estimate, is that correct? Yeah. You know, and I asked her, you know, you mind showing me a quick tour where this system is? She's like, oh, it's on the roof. And I asked her, okay, well, do you already kind of know what you're looking for? You know, and she's like, yeah, I want the bare minimum. I'm looking to sell the house, so we're not looking for any of the 16, 18 SEER type of stuff. And I'm like, okay, great. I asked her, you know, oh yeah, what was going on with the system? She's like, well, it's 20 years old, and there's a leak. Okay, yeah, makes sense to change it out, you know.
Right.
So
Because you wouldn't want to freaking pay somebody $2,000 or $1,500 to fix a leak on a 20-year-old system. You probably want to put your money
into into, you know, something that has warranties, you know. So I get up on the unit and I'm taking pictures, you know, of the install to see, you know, okay, let's get our game plan together. We'll do this. And first thing I want to check is the size of the unit, and it was a 3-ton system, and the house on Zillow was 1,200 square feet. We usually go out and measure the house, but at this point, I hadn't measured it out yet. And so I called Greg, hey, this is what's going on, because I know everybody says, hey, downsize, but the last thing you want to do is downsize the system and then the customer complain that, it doesn't cool like the other system did.
Yeah, on those days when it's like 110 degrees out.
Yeah, and I paid all this money for the system that doesn't even work as good as my old one did.
Right.
So I ran it by him, and the first thing I thought about, well, they're going to sell the house anyway, so it's not like they're going to feel the difference in the new system compared to their old system. So I was thinking, okay, maybe after I measure out the house, check the insulation, see what that looks like. Because it was a home built in 1920s with single pane windows and stuff. So maybe it was upsized for that reason.
Right.
And as I was looking at the model and serial number, I realized system was from 2012 pane. And when I got up there, I knew it wasn't 20 plus years old like she said. I thought it was, maybe along the lines of 13, 14 years old, because those carriers and panes usually have all the same model look from that to now.
Mm-hmm.
And but it did look clean, and then also the sheet metal work that was done on the back to the elbow was nice and clean, and you can tell it was brand new. But I seen on the serial number, system was from 2012, and it had R410A refrigerant, and I was going through the specs, and I'm like, this system's 5 years old. And at that point, we feel like it's not right to sell a system on a system that's 5 years old when all it needs is just a repair.
Right.
Even depending on what the
it's
repair
probably still got
was.
some warranty to it.
Yeah,
like if it's a coil or something like that.
Absolutely.
It's probably got a parts warranty.
Because I went down and told the homeowner, hey, I know you said it was 20 years old. I just looked at it. It's actually from 2012. And she was like, no, that's not right. I was here in 2011, and she's married. Her wife.
That's weird.
Her wife has been at that same house for over 20 years, and she's like, we've never replaced it. I was like, well, I'm sure it's from 2012. And she's like, yeah, but how do you know? And I'm like, well, I've been doing this a while. You can look at the serial number and see what the year is.
Right.
And to reassure her, I said, look, I'll go back up on the roof, and I'll call Payne or Carrier. I'm going to give them the model and serial number, and I'm going to ask them how old it is.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, exactly. And that way I know, okay, maybe if I missed something, then that's my fault. I went up there, and I called Slakey Brothers and gave him the model and serial number. He said, yeah, it was manufactured week 37 of 2012, and it's got a 10-year parts warranty on it.
Oh, man.
I said, okay, cool, that's what I thought, and I explained the situation to him, and he kind of laughed, and he was like, yeah, no, it's 2012.
Crazy.
And then, of course, if you think about it, 410A wasn't around 20 plus years ago.
Right.
So it would have been an R22 system.
I've seen some older units that had
like
410 in it.
Purons,
I've seen some older ones.
Yeah.
But they're unique.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I went down there and I explained to her. I said, look, I got on the phone with the manufacturer, gave him the exact model and serial number, and he told me it was manufactured in week 37 of 2012. So I told her my guess is it was probably installed sometime at the end of 2012, beginning of 2013. She's like, no, that's not right, because I was here. I'm the one who deals with all of that. I would have known any type of big investment that we would have ever had to do in this house. And I was like, you don't remember?
So strange.
You don't remember a crane taking off?
That's like Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
It's like Twilight Zone. You're like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
At this point, it sounded like she was getting a little frustrated with me, like as if I was lying to her. And I was like, you don't remember a crane taking the old unit off, putting the new one on? Like, she's like, no, I would have remembered that. And so she actually called her wife on the phone, and her wife said, yeah, I've been here for 20 plus years. I've never replaced that system. I'm like, well,
that is so strange.
I told them it's not that I don't believe you guys. It's just I can only tell you that this system is from 2012. I said unless...
Was it a duplex?
No, it was a old 1920s
It's
home.
a single home.
Off of, East Sacramento, like almost downtown.
So there's no other HVAC units around. It had to be that unit.
It was. I walked on the front of the roof, right by the front door, and it was the unit right there. And so I literally was going over everything with her on, like, okay, we can do this and we can start the repair. If it's something big like a coil, like, it's gonna be under warranty. All you're gonna do is pay, labor on that. And she was like, well, like, I swear, she's like, I just looked through all my paperwork. There's no way we did anything that big of an investment.
But regardless, you would probably feel bad replacing a unit
Absolutely.
that you know is 5 years old or 7 years old.
And I went into this I went into that on the conversation on the fact of I
you gotta
was
sleep
on
at
the
night.
phone with my boss, and I brought it up to my boss. I was like, hey, this system's, and I told her, I brought it up to him, and we both agreed it's not the right thing to do for the interest of the company, and the interest of, I'm not a dickhead guy. I'm not going to do something like that to somebody who doesn't need it.
But it sounds like she was getting other quotes, and you were like the fourth company there or something?
I was the fourth company today out there. And she even told me that. She even threw it out. She's like, yeah, you're the fourth company today. And no other company has mentioned that. And I'm like, well, I mean,
I believe it. Because it's probably some sales guy.
I told her I believe it, but it could be they just came out and they didn't, they were like, hey, she's out for a system estimate. I'm going to give her a system estimate.
I agree. That's, yeah.
And it's not really wrong. I mean, in my eyes, it's like, I wouldn't do that, but it's not really wrong because I can probably, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, but even if I saw that and I was like, hey, I noticed this from 2012 and I didn't say anything, hey, you were out here you wanted me out for a system estimate, that's what I gave you.
Right.
But I'm going to go
You
above
get your commission, you go home, you spend it, and that's money that you didn't have in your pocket before. And so that's what these other companies guys are doing. They're sales guys that probably only get paid off of commission.
Off of commission, yeah.
So they're wanting that money. They need that money. It's a slow.
Absolutely.
It's not a busy time. It's kind of steady out right now.
Yeah. So they need it because they're their chicks are probably not as great as they'd like it to be.
Right.
But I
think you did the right thing, man.
Yeah, I want to go above and beyond, and especially if we have a fast, honest, friendly sticker on the side of our company van. I gotta display some type of honesty, and so I'm gonna be honest enough.
You totally did the right thing, and everybody watching this video knows that you did the right thing.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna head on over to Fair Oaks right now and check out a call that Colin's going to. Customer has no heat, so we're gonna see what's going on over there and see if we can get this customer up and running. Okay, we're gonna try and jump this again. There's your amp draw. That's pretty healthy amp draw. Yeah. 0.68 is a pretty healthy amp draw on your inducer motor. When we first came out to this house, we jumped the system R to W and nothing turned on. The inducer motor, nothing. But when we started messing around with some wires, namely the wire coming from the pressure switch to the ignition module, the system decided to fire up. Burners are burning pretty good. When it started up, no rollout.
I think it's
Typically start
something here or just that connection. You look at that connection.
Where's it oxidized at? Back terminal. That's the wire that we were touching coming to the pressure switch. If I jiggle it now, that doesn't turn it off.
It looks like, where does it go first? It's 24 straight to that.
interesting. There's no flame sensor running either off of that.
Yeah, it's isn't like part of these igniters, aren't they? Like, oh shit, it's like legit just not plugged in.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. So what are we doing right now?
We'll take the top off, take a look at the heat exchanger for see if there's any safety issues.
Yeah. Check the heat exchanger. So you went snowboarding this weekend, didn't you?
Sure did.
I saw a picture of you on Facebook where you were like your feet were over your head.
Yep. Yeah. There's one more over here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That was your feet over your head?
Oh, yeah.
Did you bail on that one? Just like totally wipe out on that one?
Yeah, it's like gotta try stuff you not always comfortable with doing, you know? Doesn't hurt that bad.
Were you guys on a like a jump?
Yeah. Yep.
Carrier heat exchangers, man, they're amazing. All right, so we didn't find anything there.
Nope. Look good.
Checked all 4 cells of the heat exchanger with a mirror and flashlight, and everything looked good there. So Carrier just makes an amazing heat exchanger back in the day. We checked out the faceplate as well, and there's no cracks on the faceplate. Does that surprise you that there's no cracks in that heat exchanger?
For sure. How this thing looks right here. There's definitely.
With the faceplate all rusted out and everything.
I didn't actually look at the ages on this thing.
I wasn't able to make it out. So I can almost see the model number. Right there, is that the serial?
1991.
91. 91, that's 26, 27 years old.
Yeah. It's almost as old as you.
I graduated in 93.
Dang.
What, you were born in 93?
No, I was only 5 though.
Dude, I was in the Air Force in 93. You were still in your pajamas.
I was. Yeah, I'm still in my pajamas right now.
Under your uniform?
Every day. Rocking the PJs. So let's jump this thing again and see what goes on.
Yeah, I'd like to jump it as well, see what happens. All right, Colin, so what are you thinking right now?
Well, I'm gonna just re-jump it to take a look at the, just to make sure it fires back up again, normally, and then probably at least clean the terminal on that pressure switch. Probably put on a new pressure switch.
Yeah, I agree. So, well, let's see what happens when you jump it. What's weird is because I moved the wire I moved the red wire, but I could tell at the the ignition module that red wire didn't move. The red wire I moved was off the pressure switch. And you said that you were at the same time getting ready to test the terminals at the ignition module. Did you actually say you actually pressed on it?
Yeah.
At the same time?
Yeah, pretty lightly.
The unit turned on.
I don't think it moved. I don't think I moved it.
So it's either the pressure switch or the ignition module, and we're firing it up right now, and it's totally firing up.
And time and vibration has caused this wire over here not to.
Maybe check that terminal, clean it up, and I don't know. I just offer him whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
It's really all you can do. See if your work.
Moment of
truth. Don't you hate this moment when you're like, oh, please fire up?
Yeah, you just hope it starts.
I'm really sure it's the pressure switch.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely.
It's definitely the pressure switch.
Oh, yeah, look at that. You got another totally new problem.
It's a.
No. All right. Awesome. I'm gonna do a quick test on it. Actually, would you mind?
Got that going.
Yeah, would you mind just going to the thermostat and just turning it on? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
Turn it on to heat and then just like crank it way up.
Okay.
You know, we won't let it run for that long. I just want to make sure it kind of. I'm gonna watch it do its thing a few times.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Boom, baby.
Fired up like a champ.
Fired it up. Had to modify some sheet metal down there to make a proper mount for that, but yeah, got that up and running. So the real test will be over time, over the rest of the winter. Will it keep firing up? But he knows what he's got here. He knows he's got a 27-year-old unit, and you know, he's got major motors that haven't failed yet. He's already replaced the ignition control module, now the pressure switch. He's got a gas valve, an inducer motor, a blower motor, all these things that could possibly fail. They haven't failed yet, so he will either just keep replacing parts, or he'll get his system replaced someday. He was already talking to us about replacing the system and the ductwork, because he just moved in a couple years ago. So we'll send Colin back out for that conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna love the end of the house stuff. I'll be like, yeah, we can definitely do that. Our owner, he'll come out and do it himself.
You're gonna volunteer me for the ductwork under the house?
You know what? This guy's so solid.
Dude, Look at that. Look, I bet you there's tons of room under that house.
It's not horrible.
Look.
Wonderful.
Look, over there. I'll go over there right now.
How's it looking? Pretty good?
Tight-ish. Oh no, man, that's good. Dude, there's tons, plenty of room. Hey, have you seen your ducks?
Not in like a year now.
But look at that one there, man.
Oh gosh. Is it nasty? Yeah. Yeah, so that one was like halfways like that about a year ago. So
it's gotten even more so.
even more so, or maybe I just don't remember. We actually have pictures.